This is why we wanted to play games like this, play against high-level opponents, opponents that are going to be participating in the World Cup. Good test for us, great evaluation period, and we got work to do. We clearly need to improve, but overall, really good experience for this team. Give Japan a lot of credit. I think they played a good game. And, they gave us a hard time. I think at times we were well in the match and performing well. But overall, over 90 minutes, could have been better. Wasn't good enough.
Thank you. We take some questions from floor. Please raise your hand. Go ahead.
Greg, what did you see as kind of what the struggles were, especially in their ability to your guys' ability to get through that press to find those line-breaking passes in the first half? I thought a lot. And it seemed like maybe there was lack of energy within the team in general, which is surprising considering the proximity to the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the energy side of it. I don't know if the proximity of the World Cup has anything to do with it. The guys didn't look fresh. And from a physical output, we just looked a step behind. And then it's difficult. And then a team like Japan will punish you. But I think, the adjustment in the second half helped. It gave us more control of the game, gave us more passes between the lines. But in the first half, I think it was just the lack of comfort on the ball, silly giveaways. We built the opponent up. After a decent start, but then it started snowballing and giving some balls away, and it wasn't, what we envisioned.
Okay. Gentleman over there.
Thanks. Greg, can you elaborate a little bit on the status of Christian's injury? And on top of that, just kind of following on what Paul asked, what do you put the performance in the first half down to? And what was the message to the guys at halftime? What was the locker room?
Well, it was just we got to be better. We weren't good enough. Easy plays we're not completing. There was, to me, I felt we were getting out competed by Japan in the first half, and it was okay, guys. What do we want to do here? It's hard to tell if this evaluation period or guys feel like they're being heavily evaluated and it's affecting them. But, I think we need to play with personality. We need to play relaxed. We need to play with intensity. And when we do these things, we're a really good team. But when we don't, we're an average team.
Greg, just to get more on Pulisic, if you could check on that.
Oh, yeah.
And then also just your assessment of the center-back pairing and the decisions to make some changes at halftime.
Yeah, so we had some planned subs at halftime. Serginho hasn't been playing that many minutes. We wanted to get him off. Gio was planned subbed at halftime. Jesus was a planned sub at halftime. And so actually so was Aaron Long. So we wanted to get 4 guys on and give them a fair opportunity. I think, one thing we have to remember is this is still, there are still players being evaluated, and we still, want to give them the opportunity. We have some injuries in our lineup, so it's great to give other guys a chance. And we made all 6 subs with the eye to be able to evaluate some guys. Christian, his status is day to day. It was a knock, and we'll see tomorrow if he can get on the field and train. Yeah, I think the center backs, there were some good things, and there were some things that can be improved. I think Walker in general was one of the guys that I saw competing the whole game, battling the whole game. Perhaps we can move the lineup quicker, so we got a little stretched at times. But I'll evaluate the performances of the other 2 center backs, and we'll speak to them about it after seeing the tape.
Greg, you talked about how this is an evaluation period. I mean, did anyone help themselves today with that performance?
Well, I mean, I think first and foremost, there's not 26 guys that are it's not fair to say that everyone's on the block here. I mean, there's guys that have a lot of water under the bridge with this team and played a lot of good games. I think when I evaluate the game in its entirety, I just say we performed below expectations. We weren't up to our normal standard, and that's almost across the board. So it's disappointing because you get the opportunity to play against a good opponent. It's going to be a technical opponent. They're going to be pressing. You know what the parameters are of this game, and it's a great opportunity for us, and I just don't think we took advantage of it.
Hi, this is George Mizutani from NHK, Japan Broadcasting Corporation. I just wanted to ask how the adjustments that you made in halftime, you mentioned a little bit about them before, but as my opinion, it looked like you had Sam Vines a little more ahead of his usual position to have more pressure on the central field against Japan. If that's right or wrong, or did you have any other adjustments that you made in the halftime?
Yeah, we changed our build-up shape. We saw how they were pressing, so we made some adjustments, and I think that gave us more control, put them in some problems. But at the end of the day, we still didn't create enough goal-scoring opportunities, and that's what we're not happy with. But some better possession, better line-breaking passes, and overall, helped us stabilize ourselves in the game.
Thanks, Greg. What did you think about Matt Turner's performance today?
I thought he did okay. I thought he did all right. He made, some good saves, some saves that looked like he's been facing some good shots in training. And I thought he played okay. I need to check the tape again, analyze it more thoroughly. But my initial reaction is that he played fine.
This is probably far down your list of concerns, and you wouldn't use it as an excuse. Did you get any feedback from players about the field? Did it give anybody issues?
I think it gave everybody issues, but including Japan. Unacceptable field conditions, but that's part of the game, and it's not an excuse why we didn't perform well.
I know they didn't get a ton of the ball, but what did you think of Jesus and Josh?
There were some moments for both of them. Jesus had, good chance with the header in the far post, just a little bit out of reach. Helped us in build-up sometimes. The first half was more complicated. It was crowded in midfield. We opened that up in the second half and enabled Josh to get on some balls and had some decent layoffs. And, overall, again, we look at our forwards on chances that they're getting in the match, and that was very few for both of them. So really hard to make a complete evaluation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.